Hello, this is Lorenzo from EventSmart, and in this video, I'll show you how to set up a conference with sessions in EventSmart. If you're planning a conference, symposium, or convention, then this video is for you. So I'll begin by entering in a title for our conference. We can add something like the Learning Conference. And now what I'll do is I'll add in some details about the conference so we can take a look at that together. So this is a conference that has a registration option that includes a complimentary workshop session. It's going to take place in the morning through the afternoon on September 14th, and then there are 3 sessions to choose from. And the pricing for the conference is $297. We can have up to 75 attendees, and then for the individual sessions, I should say, there are 25 guests for each. So those are the details. Let's now create the date. So we know that it's September 14th, so we'll click on the date time selector, and then we'll move towards September, and then select the 14th, and it's set to 8 a.m., so that looks good. So now we can click on done. And now let's set the end time, which will be 1 p.m. So we'll use the slider and move it back, and then click on done. Okay, so we've just set up the date time for the main conference. Now let's set up the date times for the individual sessions that are available. What I will do is duplicate this. So I'll duplicate once. And now I'll go back and actually update the times. So the sessions actually start in the afternoon. So I'll use the slider and move it towards 2. Click on done, and then move this slider towards 4, and then click on done. So that is the first session. Now I'll click on duplicate 2 more times, so 1 and 2. And now what we can do is add in details about the actual date time. So we can say this is the main conference, then we have session A, then we have session B, and finally we have session C. Okay, so now let's actually create the registration for the conference. So I'll copy the first option, and then I'll replace it in the existing ticket name here. And now let's adjust the sell until date. So we know this event will take place in September on the 14th. So let's say we'll close it the day before so we can wrap up final planning details. Now click on done. And now let's set this price to $297. And the quantity, we know that for this event is 75. Okay? So now it's time to create those individual sessions so that they're available for registration. So what I'll do again is click on the duplicate icon here. So I'll do it 3 more times. So 1, 2, 3. And now what we can do is just copy in details for those individual sessions. So for the first one, we'll replace that. Click away. Okay, and then we can go ahead and add in the details for the remaining sessions. So now we are on the last session, which is managing your energy. And now we can actually clear some of the details that we don't need. So clear that out, and then we'll update the limits for each. So each session can hold up to 25 attendees. So we've now set up the dates, and we've set up the registration options. The next thing that we need to do is adjust the access. So what do I mean by that? Well, what I'm going to do is click on this advanced gear icon here. And once you do that, it will expand to show some additional options. We can see that the date time for the main conference is currently connected to everything. In this case, we want to drop the sessions. So we'll go ahead and disconnect those. And then I'll click on the gear icon again, and then I'll click on it for the session A. And in this case, I want to update these so that it's matching for session A. So in that case, I'm going to drop the conference and then this unrelated sessions. And then I'll go ahead and repeat that for session B. So for session B, we're going to drop everything that's not session B, and do that one more time for session C. So we're going to disconnect what is not related to session C. Okay, so we've just set up the date times, we've set up the registration options. One more thing that we need to do is set this main registration option here to required. So I'll hover over and click on the gear icon, and then I'll click on this ticket is required. Alright, so we've just set up the conference. Now I'll scroll up and click on Save Draft here. Alright, and now we can follow this link right here and check it out on the front end. So let's go take a look at that link, and then we'll scroll down, and here are the registration options. So the reason why we set it up this way is that this conference has sessions available, but one of them can be chosen for free. So the reason why we set this first option to be required is that we don't want attendees to be able to just pick a session without, of course, paying for the actual conference. So following this example, let's say that I was interested in session C for managing your energy. What I would do is this option here, the first one's pre-selected, so I can just select session C, and from here click on register now. Okay, so that is an overview of how you can create a conference with sessions using EventSmart. I hope you found this video helpful, and thanks for looking.